go. All right, so we're going to use thermal imaging. So this does not see in 3D. As you can see, I should be orange, red, and yellow. And then everything around me is blue and black. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
So if you take me out of it, it's going to fluctuate based on whatever's inside the screen. So everything, the trees now should turn orange, red, and yellows. So really what we're looking for on here is if something blue comes across my face and we don't see it and there's no wind like what we have right now, pretty still, we obviously have something going on. I have other thermometers to try to debunk what's actually happening or to prove what's happening. But that's really what we're looking for, but really what you're going to be doing all night long is holding this out just like this, horizontal, and there's a red square right there. Don't tap it. If you do, tap it again. It'll turn to a circle. Just make sure it's a square all night. So this also records audio, so we'll have another point for EVPs as well. So you're my camera person, so try not to slide it in your pocket or...
So do what?
Just hold it. All I need you to do is hold it all night. In case you actually see something come across or a blue, anything is moving, I need to know. If you don't see anything tonight, it's fine. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow through our hotspots. If I capture anything there, I'll give you the marker of when to go to. And all you need to do is hold it, just like the way you are. I know, not super exciting, but when something does happen on there, it's super exciting.
Okay.
At least for me it is.
Okay. Oop. Okay. I'm going to be a sucky camera person, but all right.
You'll be okay. This is a spirit box. Spirit box allows us to communicate with the dead. How does it work? It's going to sweep through all of the FM radio stations very quickly. Now your TV shows and your pros will actually have it set so fast that all you hear is a very quick static. I have it slowed down a little bit. Why? I want the radio chatter to come through. That radio chatter, it can be messages from the dead. Have you seen the movie Transformers?
Oh yeah, who hasn't?
Okay, so
me, probably.
Oh my God, Transformers.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Sir.
Lisa.
Lisa. It's like Crystal.
Crystal.
Lisa.
I'm Crystal.
Okay, so the reason why I bring up Transformers is because Bumblebee, the yellow, what is he, a Camaro now?
Yeah.
He talks through the radio. He uses the radio as his
Gotta
voice.
see Transformers.
So if a DJ or a song lyric or whatever you hear, that's what we need to keep track of. Now, the cool thing about this is it's going to record the entire radio sweep. It's already recording. So we're going to have the entire radio sweep in a nice even level, even if it's on mute. So if I turn it up, it sounds like radio static.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something to come through that would be a good example. Not hearing anything. So, again, if you hear something loud and clear, it could be a message. That's going to go to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I don't care, I'm all about it.
One more piece just because that way we're
It's
not
just me and
all-
you for a reason.
Yeah, right.
Mom was here. We don't know what to do.
So, do we have somebody that recently passed that might be coming through? I heard Mom.
No.
Oh.
No, she's still with us.
Okay. So this is an EMF meter. Your hands are already pretty tied up, so I'll probably just stick this in the front pocket of my bag so
Okay.
it kind of sticks out with the lights. So it measures 3 different types of electromagnetic fields. The first one is natural, comes from the earth. That's why it's green. It doesn't really mean anything, it's just natural field coming up. The next one's going to be from electronics that are on. So like a cell phone or wiring from a building or something man-made will make it go into a pulse. What we're looking for is that erraticism. We want it to go a little crazy. We want it to go nuts. If it starts going a little nuts, we're going to try to debunk it first, and then it's usually our first signal that something is actually happening. So, I'm going to tuck that guy right in here so you can kind of all see it.
I'm looking for something blue to go through here.
Yeah, so, again, you're also, capturing audio for us at this point, too. So that's why we want the full recording, and when we go to all of our different locations, you'll have the point of reference for the stories. This zipper is really nuts. Not to mention, I'll have to study it to see if actually something crazy is going on with all of those blue spots as we go through all of your different areas. Last but not least, I do use a couple of things on my phone. You're probably thinking, what the heck is he using on his phone? Somebody else texted me.
why would there be a blue spot on that car?
The window is probably colder than the engine and the rest of the
Okay.
glass is usually colder.
Okay.
It also cannot see through glass, so keep that in mind either. It's gonna, again, it doesn't see in 3 dimensionals the way we do.
It would be moving, right? That's what you said.
Sorry, I got another local author that wants to interview me about one of my investigations, so he's been chatting with me. Anyway, so let's talk about the other apps I'm going to use on my phone. Now, I'm going to use a couple of spirit boxes on my phone. This one's actually going to give us words right here in the center of the screen, and then it's going to save them to a list. The last story I did, they had 58 terms. I'm going to clear them out because they already have theirs. I'm going to give you guys the entire list. However, 80% of it is bullshit. Okay? The other 20% is actually going to be relatable to the places that we go to. One of us, somebody trying to come through that wants to chat with us, doesn't matter. It's going to be relevant. So, again, and I only give you guys verifiable, stuff. This one is a reverse spirit box. Reverse spirit box. This one is actually literally just a man and a woman saying random words, and then they reverse the audio. Also look at all of the devices we have. They're all electronic. We're not using dowsing rods. There's no tarot cards. There's no manual anything. So I actually get quite a bit from this guy, but that's what it sounds like. And this is the reason why I use the audio and it stays on me. It sounds like complete gibberish. So when I actually get something in forward motion, it makes complete sense. Now, just a few weeks ago, I was talking about a woman from England, and I will show you exactly what location we were in. But the term baked beans breakfast came up, and I was like, oh, what the hell does that mean? I had no clue. One of my guests told me that's actually a thing over in the UK. That spirit box gave me the term I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and then the word list gave me the word tea. That was all within 2 minutes of each other. So it was like a full sentence coming through in 3 different devices. Does that make sense? So I have to look at this as a collective in the morning to see what actually shows up. So this one I'll leave open all night, and then when I need to use the other reverse, I just turn my volume. So that way I can actually use both. So, you don't look very impressed with the gadgets.
I have no idea what's going on.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, the first location we go to, besides here, is actually kind of our practice spot. So I'm going to there's not a ton of history there, but there is a little bit, so it is haunted. You do get some activity. I help you listen on the spirit box. I kind of show you what to do with your camera and kind of go through the motions with you. So, again, I'm not handing you devices and saying, let's go ghost hunting. There's a little bit of practice that goes into this.
Okay.
Okay. So,
How long is the tour?
90 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
There's a lot here.
All right, let's do this.
So, this place actually used to be called Big John's. That's the reason why I was talking to that, construction worker there. He's working on the inside because it was King Rum Bar just recently, and they closed. So I was kind of inquiring about, what's the bar going to be now? Is the owner going to be cool with me starting my tours here? Yada, yada, yada. But anyway, Big John was a football player. He sat in the back of the bar and would kind of nod off to the bartender if the cadets that came over from the Citadel were of age or not. So he would tell the bartender, cut him off. So one night, 2 guys come in, he cuts him off. The 2 guys leave, pissed off. They come back the next night and they steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John pulls out his gun, points, shoots, kills. The bullet ricochets and lands in the wall. Now, it's not necessarily the dead person that's haunting the place. It's more of the paranormal activity that's attached to the bullet hole because it's still here. It is said at times people, when they sit in the front of the bar, will not feel well, dizzy, headaches, queasiness, all of that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I ask that if any of you, either of you, rather, are feeling those things, I need to know. It's a big deal. The first time somebody dropped and passed out on my tour because of a nice cool night like this and too much paranormal activity, I was in CPR class the next day. So that way I'm CPR trained and first aid trained if I need to. So
now I just got to watch out where I walk because of the uneven ground.
Yeah. Well, that is a commonality.
Yeah, Band-Aids, right?
Yeah.
We're good then.
We're fine. So the other story here is we had a big earthquake of 1886, and this is apparently where the first killing occurred from that earthquake. It's a big one for Charleston because we don't get earthquakes, so it's just not a thing for us. But a piece of the mantling above your heads in the front of the building actually fell off, struck somebody in the head, and killed them. The previous owner used to see shadows right here on East Bay Street after the bar closed, so I don't have any evidence for myself other than his word. So I'm trying to read faces here. So I'm getting I've heard this one before.
I haven't heard anything.
Oh. Versus the, wow, this is super cool, let's keep going. That's what I'm getting.
No, nothing.
Alright. Ladies, let's take a walk.
Okay.
Let's go this way.
Okay.
You want your drink?
Nah.
Okay.
There's a trash can. I got it. I got you.
Where?
Oh, down here. I already went to it. That's how I know this. Ah. I'm always up for an adventure.
Oh, this is definitely an adventure.
And we're gonna get near your car, so I'm gonna throw my jacket in there when we get by there. No, when we get down there.
Where did you guys park it?
Right there.
Over there, in the, right there.
Yeah, we're going to be heading that way in a few
Okay,
minutes.
cool.
Okay.
So a couple things right here before we start really diving into this lot. And by the way, I don't take you to all the pretty places of Charleston because the other tour guides want to show you something. This is about the investigation and the history all around us. So
Okay.
Crew Cafe claims to have a suicidal haunting that occurred there. I don't have any record of it. The plat of land used to be a slave home, which means it didn't have an address. I can't get the titles and deeds through the Historical Society or anything, so I'm probably gonna, I was supposed to do it over the summer, but I'm probably not, just so you guys know. For your history buffs, right down the street from there is a stop sign, and the peninsula of Charleston used to be much skinnier. And Revolutionary War, ship rolls up, shoots a cannon, lands at the stop sign, no deaths, no tragedies, no paranormal activity, just one of those little nuggets of history that I found. I was like, oh, that's actually along my tour. I'm gonna show it off a little bit. So where are you guys standing now? This is the Red Barn lot. This is where they keep the horses for the carriage rides. The horses are in the barn. So your spirit box will kind of keep at an audible level only. We won't go super loud with it. We're going to get probably some teammates from Big John. They like to show up in our spirit boxes down here and kind of say hello. And we get all kinds of weird activity. It could be a stable boy. This is also the same Red Barn where they kept the horses that delivered milk to Charleston. So that kind of gives you an age of the building. 1860s, 1920s is roughly that time period. Other than that, I know nothing. So the fact that I get so much activity out of here is amazing on how much I actually get. Now there's another building nearby that I'm actually investigating where some of that type of evidence keeps showing up here. So if anything like that shows up, it's a recent, I guess, death, we should say, within the last 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of a sensitive nature, so I haven't really been exploiting it. But if something pops up, I'll just say ignore that. That's for my other investigation. I'm kind of diving into that on my own. So we're going to walk around with your camera. You have a million different types of material in this lot. We have metal, asphalt, wood, brick, foliage, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to turn your spirit box up just a little bit. There's actually a right here at the very top. There's a turnstile. You just turn the wheel and turn it up. Okay. So I'm already getting words, and the fact that the EMF is giving us, keep my cell phone away from it. Okay.
Should I turn my cell phone off?
Nope.
For distractions?
Nope, it doesn't. Honestly, it would have to be right on top of it for it to be able to give a signal.
Okay.
Like, it literally would have to come up and touch this guy. So, I'm going to kind of keep this guy handy to kind of see where our hot spots are. Hopefully I can see it from that pocket.
85% off.
85% off.
That's right.
She heard something. I'll take it. There are some people that get that device and they can't hear anything. And that's why I used that one in particular, because it records.
Okay.
So we're just going to kind of walk around here for a few minutes and kind of see what we capture. Let me know if you see anything blue come across your screen. But we're going to go through and kind of ask some questions.
Well, there's blue stuff on it, but it's just the buildings.
Right.
And
It's going to vary the temperature based on what's inside that screen. So your hot spots are going to, like if there's a good 3 to 5 degree difference between the red and the blue, that's what's going to make the blue go blue. But if it was only 1 degree difference, it would probably just go over to orange. Does that make sense now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take a walk. Let's get you moving around a little bit. Look like you have 3 drinks tonight. Am I guessing right?
No.
No?
No.
Got the word gray, so they're obviously seeing my shirt. So when I ask questions with that guy, I'm getting all the way up to red here. And we're also walking on a sewer line. So there's nothing that should be making this guy go off like that, especially all the way up to red. So when I'm asking questions on the spirit box, I try to keep it simple. Something I might actually know the answer to. For example, like what color is the barn? If I ask what color the barn is, I'll wait 30 seconds. And obviously, if I'm guessing somebody's already here with us, since I got so much EMF here. And then that way, I'll wait 30 seconds if they don't answer and ask the same question again. It's not a matter of like, hey, who's here? Is somebody here? I stay away from yeses or nos. But this thing is actually going a little crazy.
What are you doing? You're so
I'm waiting.
She's good.
waiting.
For a skeptic, I want to...
I want to find another red spot just to make sure we're like away from cars and all of that mess.
Crystal. I'm waiting for one of these blue things to move. That's weird. I don't even see that bicycle guy. Maybe he's going too slow.
Yep.
Yeah, he's there just very little bit.
Hang on, we gotta make a way here. Bring me back to the spirit box.
What's going over here with him?
Alright, so let's see if we can get an answer. If somebody's actually here, tell me what color that barn is. Tell me what color the barn is.
Where's the barn?
That barn.
Well, it's red.
I want them to tell me red.
But it's turning blue in here.
The asphalt is probably
Heating
red.
it up?
There's a little bit of air conditioning in there. Alright, one last time. What color is the barn? Number 42. Inside the barn. What type of animal is inside the barn? You gotta tell us what's inside that barn. Type of animal inside that barn. I'm not hearing anything, are you?
You know.
We definitely got a good red spot going there. Those weird spikes are happening.
Yeah.
That's pretty erratic. That's what I'm looking for. There's no real rhythm to that. Again, it's a lot different to listen to it with headphones on when I find those answers that way
He's a little
too.
wobbly.
Huh?
He's a little wobbly.
Do I?
Yeah.
One last time before we leave, what type of animals are in the barn?
There's animals in the barn. Animals.
There's horses in there. They're
Oh,
okay.
there's horses in there. He already knows the answer.
Right.
Yeah, I can smell them.
Yeah. I heard horse.
Here. Oh, you can't hold mine.
Oh, God darn it.
Let me see what I can do here.
There you go.
Sorry, I threw a lot at you guys.
We're gonna have to switch off holding this, but I'm waiting. I'm watching.
Alright, let's go learn some
But wait a
history. How about
second.
that? You got something moving?
Let's do that.
I don't know. It seemed like there was something over there, but
Well, we also have an air conditioner over there. If you're doing the right thing, it's trying to find
But
everything
it's
you can
not.
and just keeping it still to watch it fluctuate. That
Like
little
it was
white
standing
box
there.
up there, you see that? Right above the blue?
yeah.
That's an air conditioner. It's like there's a window in an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go teach you some history.
Okay.
You guys
Let
got
me
the
throw my jacket in the back of the car. Can you click the car open? And I want to check it for any sort of, huh?
She has no idea though, I'm telling you right now.
What? What do I know?
How many ghosts are in Charleston?
Probably lots. So excited because I'm such a.
Right there, I promise.
What?
I told him it's gonna be fine up there, I promise.
What is it?
I'm not worried about
The thing.
Oh.
it. Thingamajigger. Technical
The
term.
thingamajigger.
Can you spell that for me?
T-H-I-N-G, a majigger.
I'm a jigger.
Oh my God, Crystal. I'm gonna drive.
Oh my God. No one tell me what she knows. Okay, here we go.
Alright, grab your thingamajigger. You
I
reach it.
grab my thingamajigger. Nice.
Make sure that car is locked. Oh yeah, it locks automatically. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a Beamer.
It is.
That's right.
God, it's full of.
So, what do you do?
I actually work at CVS.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Why do you
front
say
end
it that way?
supervisor.
Because she's rich, that's why she says it that way.
My sister actually worked for that company for like 20 years.
Yeah,
She doesn't have to work.
yeah, I work because I want to.
And what do you do?
I am a drug and alcohol counselor. Shut up.
She has to take care of her arm right now, so she's not used to taking something, and she had to take something because her arm is killing her, and so
Yes, she's right.
she had to take something, and so she's just like,
I had to take some hydrocodone. 'Cause
Yeah, so
I have
she's-
carpal tunnel really, really bad.
so she's not used to taking anything, and it's really hitting her hard.
See that?
Can I get a hug, Nick? Can you hug your wife too for me, okay?
Alright, let's step out of the way.
I
in case
love
cars
my
are gonna
wife
come
very much. Okay.
It's prescription, but she's just, she needs to have surgery.
What color's the barn, people?
Alright, let's turn that down for a second.
Okay.
There's actually a story here.
Okay.
I know it's another parking lot, and I'm sorry.
I know.
It's very pretty, but this is where Eliza and Charles Pinckney lived.
Really?
Who is that?
How cool.
So
Pinky
Eliza
is.
and Charles Pinckney had a son named Charles and had a nephew named Charles. So there's 3 Charles. The son and the nephew signed the Constitution.
That's right. We were hearing about them. KK.
Charles was also a big politician as well. However, I hate politics, especially this year. So we're going to talk about Eliza because she's a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
So Eliza got married to Charles so she could stay here in the United States. Her father was dying.
But wait a second. Let's back up. Why did they make a parking lot out of a place that's so historic?
Maybe you should find that out through the spirit box. Those are good questions to ask.
Did it burn down?
That was one reason, but it was also something else after that. We're talking like this lot has been many things, but this is the main story behind the lot is the Pinckney Mansion site. So there's also a restaurant, and then obviously it's a lot now, and they're going to turn it into a commercial hotel.
I think that's probably a bad idea.
It's a very bad.
Because obviously they don't want anything here. Do you want anything here?
Well, that's a yes or no question. So I try to stay away from those.
Okay.
Now, here's what actually went down. So Eliza married Charles to stay here. I told you about that baked beans breakfast thing that I heard. This is where it all occurred. She's from England. So her dad was dying. He wanted all of his kids home. She didn't want to go. She didn't think he was dying. She was right. He didn't die. At least not then. So she got married to become a citizen here in the States. Stayed. Things going well. Dad started sending gifts over after he got better, just like he normally did. Very prominent family. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo, which is a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. We still use it now. So she started planting it. Our rice plantations in Charleston were going shit, hell in a handbasket. We needed another cash crop to save Charleston. So what happens? She turns the indigo plant into a big cash crop over in Mount Pleasant. Huge deal. She was also the businesswoman that sold it overseas to all of those leaders, which is what made her such a prominent person in history, because there was no such thing as a businesswoman in the 1760s. There's tons of books written about this woman. She did way more than what I'm telling you. But those are the types of simple... corn, that's interesting. We're talking about crops. But a couple weird things about Eliza. She was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So she actually goes by her maiden name, Eliza blank Pinckney, to differentiate the two of them. She was actually friends with the other Eliza. We don't put questions of all kinds of weirdness around that, because Eliza's pretty friendly here. Obviously, you now know that the house burned down. You can probably find out where by walking around. There were 4 kids. One, is named Charles, but the daughter's name I don't normally reveal to see if it actually pops up. I kind of let you guys walk into this blind, so that way you can kind of find out what these answers are. You can ask anything about her death, like how she died, what she died from, where is she buried, all of those different things. She's perfectly open, and I've gotten all of those answers in the past.
Where's the camera? Why is there a hot spot in it?
What do you mean?
I thought it was my finger.
Yeah, your camera is right here.
Where?
You are right on top of it. It's this little device, attached to the cell phone. So there's 2 little dots back there.
Okay.
You can turn it around so you can see it.
I'm just going to put my thing in my pocket. There we go. Okay.
So you're going to see different variations because of the gravel, and there's some mud mixed in with this too. It might be dry mud, but mud's still going to be cooler than any type of gravel. So kind of keep that in mind too. That's why you're probably getting some colder spots up in that area. It's probably from the gravel around the cars and the mud that might be mixed in. But again, they're not going to do an archaeological dig here either before they put up the commercial hotel. Now, it's supposed to be up already. You're okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Wife works at Best Buy. Everything's got Geek Squad. You're fine. So, which means it's protected by insurance. So if it drops and breaks, we're fine. But at the same token, they're not going to do anything to dig up this ground. They're just going to slap a hotel on it, which is complete bullshit for Charleston, because imagine the mansion was in the front, the garden was back here, and we're standing where the slave homes would have been. So imagine how many artifacts are probably laid out in here that we can dig up and learn more about the slave trade back then. I know. Again, I won't be very happy when they start constructing here, because this is a big hot spot for me. So let's kind of tour this place a little bit. Turn your little spirit box up a little bit. I also kind of want to show you to see if it's actually working tonight. So if you look at the lights on my EMF versus the light that's blinking on the back of that building, a lot of times it pulses within 2 frames. Like if I were to video that, it's literally within 2 frames. I've tested it dozens of times, just to show you what kind of energy is pouring out of here and actually influencing that light over there.
Rays.
Yeah.
This is rays.
Yeah, that's been up for about a good 2 minutes or so. So let's see what we actually get out of this. 0. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that light before. So let's just kind of do a quick lap around here. That way we get a bunch of video and see what we hear on there. Tell me what you hear.
Smell barbecue.
There's something interesting for you. I got a hello as soon as I turn this on. And normally when I hear something, I repeat it and then I say rewind by 5 seconds because this audio is going to come to you in an MP3 so you guys can play with the slider. Now the word infant just came up, which is weird because normally if you bring up Eliza's infant son that died, all activity shuts down, including the EMF. But the fact that I got that coming up, like it's almost like she wants me to ask about the infant son that died. I want to say he was only like 13 or 14 months.
Oh, how
So
sad.
I actually asked how old the infant son was when he died. So let's get a direct answer so I know what I'm listening for. She gonna be okay?
Yes. She's not used to, she's been really hurting, and so she finally took something, and I
Yeah.
told her to finally take something, and so she's like, whoopee! Yippee yahoo! She's definitely not driving. So you tell what a lightweight she is.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about her though.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got you. I would be worried
Okay.
if there's anything to worry about.
Oh, actually, looks like it's only a few weeks. Born and died June 1747. That'd be George Lucas.
She's not going to drive,
Good.
and I've never drove her BMW, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine with that. Eliza, the word infant came up. Can you
And it
tell us
should
what
wear
the baby's
off in
name
like
was?
an hour,
Yeah, I
the
think
side effect.
let's get her off the cars.
Stand up, Crystal.
What?
Don't lean off
I don't know what cars have alarms.
if that alarm will go
Oh,
off.
oops.
Lexus
Sorry.
has an alarm. Eliza, can you tell
You're
me
making
what
people
the baby's
worried.
name was? What's the name of the baby? The one that died? What was the baby's name? Eliza, tell us the baby's name that died.
What are you listening?
I listened for the baby's name.
There you go. Because you never know where the answer is going to go. That's why I use so many different points of communication. She's doing the right thing.
Yeah. I keep hearing the same beat.
It's going to be sad.
Crystal, come
But
on,
look, I told you,
man.
once I start talking about that baby, usually the activity dies down. Oh, wait a minute.
Let me take a picture of you.
Eliza, what was the baby's name?
I took a picture of you. I like yes or no questions. I have a bunch of questions for her.
Well, here's why I stay away from that. Is because the S and O in the English phonetic language are two of the most common sounds. So you can say, is somebody here? And they say houses, and you think you heard yes. It's just, it's too easily mistakable.
I don't know how you'd ask her, are people going to be safe with the new buildings? That's just so disappointing. It's so
Okay.
disappointing.
Eliza, how do you feel about the hotel that they're going to put here where your mansion was? On house. Yes, they're going to put a hotel right here for tourists to stay. How do you feel about that? Liberal.
I'm a liberal. So being a liberal is kind of like being open-minded, right? I'm open-minded.
Yep. And that would
As
be a
long
term
as,
she would
like,
definitely
I'm, like,
use.
being disrespected. As long as I'm not being disrespected. As
Yeah.
long as it's...
Mm-hmm.
As long as I'm being honored. Maybe they'll put a plaque up for you. As a
Eliza-
historic landmark. Would that make you happy, I hope?
Another yes or no question.
I'm sorry.
All right, Eliza, I'm going to move these folks on. Can you say goodnight? Good night. It's very quick. You'll rewind by 5 seconds. It said good night very, very quick. Let's try one more time. Can you say goodbye?
I thought I heard the word bye. Thank you.
Okay, Eliza. I'll see you in a few hours.
Come on, Crystal.
Come on, Crystal. We're going to walk. Did you hear anything?
I was listening hard.
Watch the car.
No, I kept asking him, what's the baby's name?
George.
George?
We're going to go up a few blocks. So you guys know. Watch your step over here. It's 1 up, 3 down.
Okay. Watch your step.
1 up, 3 down.
Well, she's been on way harder stuff.
So make sure she's going to be all right.
Yeah. I see like orbs. Hey, where are all these like little dots now? These are the
Lights.
first time I've seen them.
Those are the
No.
lights. Yep, those are the lights.
Okay.
So all those little white
Oh, the
circles.
little lights. Okay, I didn't even see the lights.
Yep.
Down there.
Again, I won't make stuff up for you. If it's true and legit, I'll dive in.
Okay. Now I'm wanting to see them. See?
If anybody's got to use the bathroom, there's a public restroom in here.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Look at her. How pretty. That's something we could live without.
Yeah, right? It's every night. Every night. I usually just have my mask hanging from my ear in case I use it.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if she put hers away. Oh, you said you had extra ones.
Yeah, I got extras if she needs it.
Okay. Is it the law here?
Yeah, unless you're smoking, drinking, or eating outside.
What?
And I've
It's
yet to
a
see
law.
anybody stopped, so don't get.
Keep smoking, Crystal. It makes us legal.
What's that?
I said, keep smoking, Crystal. It makes us legal.
Well, they don't even give you a warning anymore. They said that they're just going to hand out tickets.
That's actually where Kim
Oh, damn.
And they upped it to $100. It was $50.
You want to wear a mask underneath your chin? We already got a ticket tonight.
Sorry, there's no baby in there.
No, her grandfather's got it. Funny. No baby in there. This shit we're doing.
Huh?
What is this shit we're doing? Go.
Go. Where is he? Oh, he's way up there. You don't like it?
Fine with it. You're way more into it than I am.
Okay. Well, then don't put that thing there.
I was trying to use the word.
I am.
Sorry, I know I walked past.
I just said, lucky not to be with the cackler. I'm having a great time. Come on.
Maybe different modifiers. Alright, yeah, just figured I didn't want you guys to get charged for it.
Pizza, what? So cute. She said, New York pizza, what?
Oh, Magnolia's got a lot of good reviews. That one I kept seeing on That's where I wanted to go.
Yay! An alleyway. These are original, right?
Yes, they are.
So cool.
So these are actually made out of clay. You notice none of them are the same shape or size or have the same spacing in between them.
Okay.
This alley used to be where people lived. I have the full list of residents of every person that's ever lived here. So I usually get the names Benjamin and John. Benjamin and John show up quite a bit. Those two gentlemen lived here in 1801. So sorry, I had to remember.
Oh, I see where it is now. Got it.
So these two buildings on the side were not here. This is actually where shotgun houses used to be. So you can shoot a gun to the front, it'll go out the back. That's how small they were. That's why they call them shotgun houses.
Right, right.
So don't have a ton of history here, but you get a lot of active, interesting things here. You get weird orbs that show up on the cameras. Through here, it's usually the same green orb, and orbs of color are actually have meaning. So depending on the color of the orb is based on what type of spirit we have with us. So whenever you get some kind of weird anomaly that shows up on either a digital camera or a camera like yours, I have to dive in and see what actually happened. This is also where the Masons used to meet. So before it was actually a street where people lived, the Masons would come down here, hot sticky night in suits and suspenders, and they would be talking business. Again, the water's that way. Charleston is much skinnier. Low tide smell will start coming through here. So it's not been a very pleasant place to live. Yeah. So they consider these people low class. They did do an archaeological dig in between the bricks very carefully, and they found some of their silverware, some of their tools, little articles of their clothing, and they consider these people low class based on that evidence there. In the event we actually hear a name from Bruce Spirit Box in the recording, or something comes up on mine, I'll give you the actual full list of residents to verify that's one of the names. Benjamin and John are two very common names I think down there. So very cool little ambient place, kind of spooky and creepy, and great place for the thermal imaging camera. Again, you have different styles of bricks here. You have the stucco building, this is Lodge Alley Inn. Then you have these bricks, which would have been after 1900 based on the construction of them. And then, of course, the 1700 bricks underneath them. So they're going to be of different temperatures. And chip, that's interesting. I don't think there was a chip that lived here, but I want to say there was a chip that played football with John Kennedy back where we started. I'm not a big football nut, but you could definitely see the different temperatures of the bricks versus the walls here. The clay bricks are obviously going to be much cooler than the mud bricks you see in the building. Are you hearing anything over there? I'm keeping her occupied with that. Let's keep walking this way. Let's see there.
Between the...
Here's some AC/DC.
Rock on. Nice.
1700s. Best thing we could do is keep her walking. 1700s. Anybody try to steal these bricks? I wonder what had happened to you. Go to jail.
Probably.
I got bit by mosquitoes, so my foot itches. Hold on.
That's the worst. I try
Uh
not
oh,
to
we're
wear
losing
shorts.
her. Where's she going?
I don't know. Kirsten, we're gonna go this way, honey. Blue-green. Don't kick her out of
What is it?
here. It's a blue-green vacation home. It's a timeshare.
Oh.
So we get a lot of security that walks through here.
Got stuck.
We have a house. She has a house in Edisto.
Okay.
So we were crabbing at night and I got bit by mosquitoes. I love the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Love
Really
it.
cool place. I used to tell like some of my investigations I did with the psychic up in Myrtle Beach here, but then I started getting a lot more activity, so it was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna skip those and go straight into the history.
Very rad. Very rad. Okay.
And this is a neighborhood. When people actually live here, you can see the TVs winding down from their day.
Okay. How much do people pay in rent around here for something
here?
like this? Yeah.
So these are probably split off into flats. So it's probably this is probably some type of shop down below, and somebody probably lives on the 2 floors above. That's probably going to go for about $2,200 to $2,500.
Okay, it's like living in San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I was talking to that construction guy about was I would like to build this up into an actual store. My history is in retail management for over 20
Who's this
years.
guy? He's doing the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much, but he's stealing my method. I usually tell the story of the alley over there before I walk through it. That's okay, we'll actually go into the alley.
Okay, let's go. Oh God, it's just the two of us. We got the special tour.
Yeah. So if I get a store, I'll sell books on the paranormal and ghost hunting equipment, and then the other half will be nothing but paranormal books, because obviously I'm a writer.
Awesome.
Upstairs, I'll rent out as a haunted hotel for $500 a night, but they'll actually be full apartments. So it'll be fully furnished and a little darker, Victorian style, and they'll get a ghost hunting kit, and I'll upload all their stuff. But I figure
Oh, my
$500
friend would
I'll
love
make
to
hand
do
over
that.
fist with that. So Stories in a Cemetery will be much bigger than just a walking tour and podcast.
Thank you.
That's a creepy effect for your audio. Watch your steps. Alright. Let me give you guys let me give you a skinny of what's actually happening here. Now, this is Philadelphia Alley now, but it used to be called, we'll actually move up here by the Death Gate. Oh, we gotta set it up again.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
That.
No, you're fine.
My man.
We got the better.
Just let me do it.
It's probably getting hot.
Right now I'm already hot.
Probably sweating, huh?
Way too hot. Yes,
I'll free up your hands for you.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do, Bo.
So, this, before it was Philadelphia Alley, was called Duelers Alley, where duels would actually occur. Now, normally, the reason why I started here is because the loser of a duel would normally go through this gate. Actually, the gate wasn't there, just a doorway. The courtyard,
Stop
and then
it.
make a left over to St. Philip Cemetery. They would drop the body in, throw some dirt on him, and then go celebrate the winner.
Oldest place in town.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me they would duel? He would like kind of stagger?
Oh no, he'd be dead.
Okay, so he'd be
Yes,
dead,
a
and they
duel,
would
he'd be
carry
dead.
him.
Yeah, they'd carry the body, go drop him in the pre-dug hole, throw some dirt on top, and then go have a few drinks. Celebrate
Well,
the
I'm
winner.
gonna take a picture.
So, but the gate wasn't there. We don't get any activity at the gate. But nobody ever talks about this gate and why it's here. So it's one of those kind of,
Oh, can you hold this?
I sure
I'm
can.
done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm
And
a
that
carriage
back to
ride
you.
today.
You guys got my hands full for sure tonight. Just the two of you. All right, there goes that back to you.
So all I can
let's
do
let
is
this
I
group
can
pass
turn
by
it
us
up.
real quick.
Okay.
There we go. Got my sound back. Sorry about that.
Here we got people behind you.
How you doing?
I'll duel you. I am not okay. You wanna duel? I'll fight you. I'm not scared of you, little boy.
All right.
She learned well not to talk or look at strangers.
Just playing.
So the duel that actually happened down here is the one every ghost story person tells down here. There was a doctor in Rhode Island. He moved down here because he was supposed to get married to Amanda. And Amanda, her parents just died. She inherited a bunch of money. The lawyer handling that money said, "You're not getting married. Let's send the doctor away and make sure he's not just after your cash." So he comes down here to Charleston. The coachman that brings him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start. So somebody walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs, is the same initials as a state that the doctor came from, of R.I. That you should bring that up because that comes up all the time. R.I. Or I'll just get the R or just the I by itself. Happens all the time. So anyway, Ralph says, "You don't want to stay here, let me take you somewhere else." He takes him over to 59 Church Street, which is like 2 blocks away. It's about a mile and a half. The two become friends. Ralph is from here, he's an attorney, but attorneys back then weren't what we know of attorneys now. He's not really well off, and he's just a regular Charlestonian. So the doctor's practice starts taking off. He's making lots of money. He's doing pretty well. He becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. You can Google the Whistling Doctor and get all the details if you want. I'm giving you the skinny so you know what to watch for and listen for. So when they went to go see plays together, they had to sit in different seats. Imagine going to see a movie together and you two have to sit in different seats because she makes more money than you. It's kind of how that went. Subsequent. That's interesting. So anyway, one night after seeing Richard III, they had to talk about these plays on the way home because they obviously weren't sitting next to each other. The doctor loved the new actress, Ralph did not. It turned into an argument and an insult party back on Amanda, the fiancée back home. The two obviously get pissed off at each other. They go their separate ways. Ralph, being from here, has ties to the paper. He writes a big old ad what a disgrace the doctor is to the city. He's not from here, he's too expensive, he takes all of our money. The doctor's pissed. He rebuttals with, "Let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to finish this."
Dueler's Alley.
Wonder what year that was.
That would have been 1884.
Well, that's a good year because I have all the papers from the Post and Courier from
Yeah,
1879
we have to look
up
through there,
until
'cause you
yes,
said you-
I do.
That would actually be really
I
cool
do
to look
have
at.
many papers
You
that
said
you
you'd let me
can
have one.
barely touch.
Yeah.
You said you let me
They'll
have
fall
one so I
apart.
can put it together.
Okay.
Yay.
So they
Okay,
come down
so-
here.
Okay.
They take their 20 paces. They go back to back, 20 paces out. They turn. The doctor shoots his gun in the air instead of shooting Ralph. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to make amends and forgive and forget. However, Ralph took 2 shots below the knees. The doctor drops. He didn't die, so he didn't go through the gate. So his friends pick him up, and they carry him back home to 59 Church Street. 10 days later, the doctor dies in his own bed. Now, I told you he was known as the Whistling Doctor. They say as you walk through this alley, and this is how quiet it is, day or night, you can hear his whistles. Now, we do have a lot of hecklers. That's a fake one for your audio. This is where you're going to turn it up. And you're going to be listening for those very faint whistles. I've caught it twice in the year and a half I've been doing these tours. So, it doesn't happen often, but they also say you can hear gunshots. I haven't caught any gunshots yet. And 4th of July, anything around July, forget it. Fireworks are going off like crazy. I'm not even going to try to debunk all of those fireworks. So, the other interesting thing about this alley is these bricks that we're standing on, these were repaired in the 1990s, so they look a little newer. They're going to get older as we move along. Now at the very end, we actually have sun-dried bricks from slave kids. Their fingerprints are still in the bricks, and we have one with a full handprint right smack over the brick. It's almost like a screw you to whoever was making them work. Now, sun-dried, these are not fired bricks, so they're going to be a little smoother around the edges. They're going to be, and they're not wet tonight, so we don't have to worry about that. But that handprint, it's right at the end. I'll point it out, but it's right outside somebody's home. So we're going to have to be kind of sneaky Pete, be very quiet. I'll point it out, and then we'll move on.
Am I allowed to take a picture?
You can.
I can. It's
Yeah.
going to have a flash.
Okay. As long as it's pointed at the ground, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so just have it ready,
Okay.
and that way
Okay.
when I point it out, you can grab as many pictures as you want.
Okay.
So, again, a little nugget of history. It's not something we're proud of, but it is there. If you actually Google handprint Charleston, there was a Post and Courier article that was written about it in 3 different places you can find them. And I don't think any of them have a prominent handprint such as this. So for you coming from another side of the country and not always seeing slavery or anything in slavery in California, I'm sure this would be very unique for you. So, let's take a walk through here, and let's see what we...
Denying that it happened is an insult to black people. I think.
What does it got to do with black people?
Because they were slave kids.
Oh, okay.
So
Denying that it
you know,
happened.
when I talk about anything, the slave quarters over at Eliza Pinckney Mansion site, you know, the slave handprint that we're about to walk over, like, I mean, I get a very mixed group, you know, and I think they're surprised that I talk about it so fluently, especially what's happening in our city. It's kind of like, you know what, it's there. I can't deny that it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not from here, so why not take a look at it? It's part of your history.
Absolutely.
I
To
also-
deny it is insulting.
Or actually, I mean, I'm obviously not part of that culture at all.
Right.
So at the very end of this alley, we're gonna let them pass by. Let's squeak closer.
What?
Nothing.
You okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh.
So
You need
at
to
the
sit
end
down?
of this alley-
No, I'm fine.
Oh.
Woo.
It'll wear off.
Thank you.
It's gonna wear off, and I'm gonna drive.
So,
It'll wear off.
Okay.
You'll feel better.
Okay, good.
how's your hand right now?
It's great.
Yeah, sure.
It's wonderful.
I had to convince her to take something because it was just irking me. The Topamax is gonna block part of that too.
So, a couple weeks ago, I'm walking through this alley and I smell something sweet at the end. And I'm kind of like, okay, I had another investigation where I smelled something sweet. And it smelled like a grapefruit to me, weeping walk. It smelled like a grapefruit to me, so I didn't say anything.
Okay, I don't want you guys getting in my orbs, so just stay
Nice.
behind my
Nice.
film.
I'll be honest with you, I try to keep a person in contact because when you do that, you have a hotter temperature, so the
Oh,
other
okay, go
colors
ahead.
will come up a little bit better. So another person on my tour said, I smell something fruity up here. It smells like a passion fruit. I'm like, well, that's weird because I smell grapefruit. And we danced around trying to find what it was. And then I got the word pie on my spirit box. I'm like, well, grapefruit or passion fruit pie doesn't make any damn sense at all. When you know it, I go home, I Google research, I find a Southern Living article about lost recipes of grapefruit pie. And it was started in Charleston by the Gullah culture.
Really? There's a person. I was
Yeah,
wondering,
yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, it's a person. It's a real person. And we're talking about fruit. Look at what just came up. So, somebody obviously
Well,
wants
wait
me
a
to
second.
know about. There's
Oh
another.
no, that's another
There's
person.
more groups down there.
Okay.
Okay. So the fact that we're talking about fruit and it came up,
You're just not allowed to like it too much, Crystal.
well,
okay.
I think it was a few nights later. I actually
good.
asked. I had a black family in my group, and I said, "Can I ask you a question about your culture?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, first off, know that I'm not black, so I don't know all of these things. I'm going to ask you a question that's related to, some recipes." So I asked her about it, and she's like, "I've never heard of that, but it could be part of the Gullah culture." I'm like, "You're exactly right. It is part of the Gullah culture. I just didn't know how far you knew, or if you were related to the Gullah culture, which they weren't. But they were respectful to me. The fact that I'm ignorant to it, I'm okay. I'm learning. There's
Yeah.
I learn something new every day. With these tours. So again, I'm going to take fruit as definitely something relevant to what's around us.
Dueling. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. We don't have any real history in San Diego besides.
Don't you guys? I mean, I don't know anything about California. So isn't there like gold rush history type stuff there?
Yeah. I guess there is. I guess there's gold rush.
That's garbage.
Wow. What
You're
is
going to start
happening?
to see some fingerprints. They're going to be all the way through here.
Wow.
This is somebody's home. They actually live here. And
I
if you're
guess
going to
so.
ask pricing on this, we're talking about $4 million because their address is Philadelphia.
Compared to what we saw today, which is 20 million. What?
Sleeping.
Who's sleeping?
Their houses.
She'll wake up.
No, they said.
Wake up, Kenny. Wappa wappa.
Put my hand on his hand. That house is the same price as my dad's. Well, when he bought it 7 years ago. Dad's house is probably worth way more than that now.
Watch
Well,
your step around this tree.
Is it pokey?
No,
Oh,
it'll just move right in front of you. Not paying attention.
you're funny. Got it. Some more of those beautiful gates.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really part of Charleston.
These two.
Okay.
Looks like they're still working in the gallery, so we're going to actually cross over to the building we're going to look at anyway. I'll tell
Okay.
you about it.
Okay.
Normally they're gone by now, and I just stand underneath their doorway, especially if we have a drizzly night. So this building here, this is the Wagner building. The Wagner building used to be a cotton warehouse.
Ooh, yeah.
So the last guy who owned it as a cotton warehouse is condos now in the back, and then they're turning the front into a wedding reception area, which is going to be considered waterfront because it will have a rooftop. So it'll probably be about 100K, but good luck to those weddings because it'll probably be cursed because the place is haunted as hell. It was also a brewery at one time, not too long ago actually. And they left town because too much freaking paranormal activity was happening inside, and they got the hell out. But the cotton warehouse is really where the story comes from. George Poirier was the last person who owned it as a cotton warehouse. He inherited the business from his dad, and he was a silver spoon kid, no clue what he was doing. And we also had the boll weevil in town. That's a bug that eats cotton. So his crops are just crap. He needs to get out quick. So what's he do? He can't sell this bad crop over to the Americans. That's where his debt is anyway. He sells it to the British. So he's watching from the second-story window of the front of this building. This is actually the back, and he watches the ship get loaded up by horse and buggy from these really cool garage doors that you see. And once the ship is loaded, somebody gets too close to that cotton with a pipe. The whole ship catches fire, everybody dies, and he watches the whole thing. Now, he was already depressed. His dad's gone. Now his father's legacy is gone. So he piles up all the furniture, puts a captain's chair on top, and hangs himself. There's a newspaper kid that caught him the next morning, coming down to the corner to sell his papes. And they say you can see the shadow of a swinging corpse. So when we get to the front, you're going to get some slow sweeps of those windows in the front on the second story, and see if I'll take a look at them in the morning. Like I'll blow them up and analyze them on my TV so I can actually see if there's anything going on in there. But we also get another ghost. So where we came out of Philadelphia Alley up there, we actually there's a restaurant up there called Coogan's Porch. Ask her to take you there for breakfast or lunch. It's a great place to eat. But it used to be somebody's home before it was a restaurant. The woman who owned it, her name was Zoe Saint Amand. She was French. She came over here with the Huguenots. That's a big descent, like, well, not with them, but she's descended from that, the Huguenots coming over here. So anyway, she died in the house by falling down the stairs. She lived there with her sister Elizabeth. They say the place is haunted by Zoe. You can see her in the ladies' restroom mirror, but I get her coming up on my spirit box all the time because she spells her name Z-O-E, not Z-O-E-Y. I also get the names Elizabeth. I get stairs, I get all kinds of things. When I think I have Zoe with me, I'll ask her, hey, what's your house look like now? And instead of saying restaurant, because that's a lot to muster, 3 syllables, she'll give me words like food, spoon, fork, very simple 1-syllable words. A lot of stuff actually happens at Poogan's. Poogan is actually a dog. So what happened with that is when they were turning Zoe's house into a restaurant, the construction crew fed this stray dog that kept coming around, and they named him Poogan. When he died, they built a memorial right on that land, and the new owners decided to name the place Poogan's Porch. Now, there's all kinds of Poogans right now. There's a Poogan's Barbecue, and there's a Poogan's Courtyard.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean, they're putting Poogan's a pretty big, prominent name here in Charleston. We all know what it is, and we all know it's haunted. If you actually look up the top 10 haunted places,
I don't know why I feel a lot of energy here, too.
There's a lot going on here. There really is. Now, I'll be honest, sometimes this is a dead spot, and other nights it's super active. I haven't gotten anything besides the word sacred since we moved over here. So I'll be interested to hear what she gets on her spirit box and see what's going on. Now, we're going to go to the front of this building. You're going to check out the front with the camera, of course. You feeling all right over there? That pole holding you up?
Good, I'm good.
Okay. And then I'm gonna get you guys back to your vehicles after we take a look at the front of this building. Because I gotta meet the next group, but I wanna make sure you guys get back to your cars, okay?
Yeah.
So, let's take a walk along the side of the building. See what we capture. We got a bike taxi coming.
Okay. We're gonna eat. We're gonna feed you something. I'm gonna feed you something.
Zoe, hi Zoe. Can you tell me what your house looks like now? Promise someone. Like 5 seconds.
I'm gonna get you something to eat. We're gonna get pizza.
We're gonna do whatever the hell we want.
Whatever we want.
Right here. It's just the active. Here.
Go ahead and turn it down a little.
I still wonder where the kids' baby is at. That person's baby is at.
Wow, it's a beautiful building. Hey, Crystal.
Let's turn that down a little bit. I know it's hard to hear
Turn it
with that
down.
music. But go ahead and give me a quick sweep on those second story windows with the camera.
Oh yeah,
Don't back up too far. Be in the street. There
I
you
know.
go. What I'm looking for here, since I can't see through glass, is I'm waiting to see if any of those windows are going to go darker or they're going to go black, which means something's influencing it from the other side.
You're going
Last
dark.
night on the one on your right, we actually captured the lower window went up in temperature, and then the one at the top went up in temperature, or down in temperature rather. So it was in reverse. So it was kind of odd. So just kind of get a
Oh, they're
minute or
turning
two there.
green. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So when they do that, they should do it in unison based on whatever's inside the camera screen. So if something goes a little darker or turns black, something's obviously influencing it from the other side. Look at that. Look what's on my screen. I'll take it.
Wow. And now, well, they went like that. They went black for a second.
Yeah, but it's going to take the stone in effect as well. It's going to, like I said, whatever's inside that screen. But very interesting building. Again, it's going to be a wedding reception area. So 3 floors of wedding reception and then a rooftop, and the water is right over there. So you'll be able to see the water from the rooftop.
Oh, I'm so turned around. San Diego, I'll know where Mexico is all the time, but
Yeah.
not here.
I got to know where the water is. That's how I keep track of everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and even when like the battery's down there.
That's so weird that
Yep.
she's just out of it.
Okay, at least you'll have the recordings to remember. At least
Awesome.
experience it for the first time.
Crystal,
Let me get you my
hole
card.
hugger.
You guys can check out the website ahead of time, but I'll have
Okay.
your evidence done by noon. And
Okay.
I'll have a ton of, I'm excited about cotton. I'm excited about infants coming up.